Hello and welcome back to Helluva Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Audie. The O is silent, and it has always been silent, and it always will be silent for all of eternity.
So first we're gonna get into some business. Today we're... You always ruin it. You always tell me, don't react.
Every week I say, Alex, I'm gonna do something stupid, don't acknowledge it. And then I crack up
And
at myself.
I do such a good job.
You do. You did really good that time. Okay, anyway.
Today we're doing part 2 of Season 2, Episode 7 of Mammon's Magnificent Musical Mid-Season Special.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm so angry about that.
We're really... This is gonna be a weird one, folks, so just strap in. The most recent episodes that have been released of Helluva Boss are Season 2, Episode 9, Apology Tour, and Helluva Short 4, Chupacabras. But it is October. It is mid-October, the late end of mid-October, so...
Any minute
now, ghost fuckers.
Mid-recording.
Knock, knock. Yeah, 8:40 p.m. on a Saturday.
Also, since the short 4 came out, we're not going to talk about it in this episode necessarily, but it was a pretty good one. It was weird.
The shorts in general are really weird, but I really do like them.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about it as a whole, but the little goat subplot. Yeah, that was
adorable.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are jumping back into Season 2, Episode 7 of Helluva Boss with the start of the performance, I think, is where this starts.
Yeah.
And the first thing is how Mammon has Fizzbots fanning him and, like, just overall serving him during the performance.
Yeah. Which directly mirrors from the Bad Trip sequence, Blitz's Bad Trip sequence, where there were, like, Blitz-shaped silhouettes fanning Stolas at the top of the Golden Stairs, which is, like, LOL.
Yeah.
That's fun. Also, this is the performance, like, section, right? Not the performance. Like...
Yeah,
not like Fizz's final one.
No.
Yeah.
That's
later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Glitz and Glam, who are the cunty twins. They do some juggling on a tightrope. They kind of slay.
They do slay. No, I like Glitz and Glam, they're cunts.
Yeah.
But I like them. They're cunts / pause and / Nick.
Yeah. Whoa, Glitz, Blitz.
Whoa.
Glam, Fizz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. But no, are they sisters? So never mind.
They have a quote-unquote twin shtick, or however you say that word.
Yeah, shtick.
So it's
yeah. Could be either
but
way.
Blitz is a twin who had a twin
that's
shtick.
So true.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of this the wrong way. Anyway, Blitz hates juggling.
Yeah.
On the
tightrope, which is Barbie's act.
Yeah, so there is something there.
Yeah.
So I accidentally walked us into something. You're welcome. My plan all along.
Even though I wrote the real thing in the notes.
Yeah. And headcanon that Blitz only hates juggling because he can't do it.
Which I really agree.
Yeah.
Like he says, it's only a little cool at best, but I think it's because he can't do it.
Yeah.
There is a Fizzbot cardboard cutout, I think in the main area, like after the performance, that says, "I clean every nook and cranny," which is just so unfortunate.
Yeah. Why the fuck is Mammon Australian? I don't think we've acknowledged that yet, have we?
I don't think so.
That's why. What are you saying about Australian?
Yeah,
people?
like is this meant to be a thing, or like did the person who voices Mammon just do an Australian accent? And they were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what? I want to know why.
Yeah, no, is there, like, a commentary that I'm missing here? Some political reference? Or is it just a joke? Like, is it...
Or were they just like, yeah, that's what he sounds like?
Is the voice actor for Mammon, is he actually Australian, or is he doing an accent?
I don't know. Do you want to look it up?
Sure, I'll look it up. You keep talking.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going, but we'll get to that. Next bullet point is Fizz's gay-ass reaction to boobs. So when he's talking to the fans, there is a fan that, like, flashes him, and he says, like, oh, nice, and something about horny, I think. I don't remember exactly. But it's just so like, like I think he literally does that. It also could be because he's in a committed relationship, like that's also valid. And then Audie did point out that, wow, Alex, men can have boobs too.
Yeah.
You wrote in the notes.
And not all people who have boobs are women, so you're just a transphobe. And
No, yeah. So this is a mute point.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a transphobe, but the
Alex is a transphobe, so disregard everything we're about to say.
I'm not a transphobe, to be clear. I think you all should know this at this point, but
he is Australian, by the way.
Okay, so, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like,
so maybe they were like,
they just kept it.
I guess, I don't know.
But there's not any other. Well, I guess Stolas and the Goetia are British, which we don't really have, like, their royalty, but, like, other than that, why the fuck are they British?
No, it's like...
Because fucking Barrett
Wilbert Weed.
Yeah, American,
yeah.
So
why? And I don't think Stolas is...
I wasn't sure, that's why I didn't say anything.
Hang on, is it Bryce?
Yeah, Bryce.
Bryce Pinkham?
Yeah.
Pinkham. Let me see. He is a guy.
Whoa, holy shit.
He went to Boston and Yale, so that makes... Yeah, no, he's American.
Yeah.
He's fully American.
Why?
Because British people are fancy, aren't they?
Yeah. That's so juvenile.
I know.
Of a trope.
That's so, like... That's... Yeah.
But also... I really can't imagine Stolas not being British.
Yeah.
I think that's partly because he is. But also, like...
No, but imagine if Stolas rolled up and was like, hello, Blitzy.
Yeah. Like, I feel like there's some accents in the show, like Millie's accent, perfect, makes a lot of sense in the lore of the world and in her character. Like, she's a Southern gal that checks. But, like, the Goetia's doesn't really. But also, Stolas does... I don't know. Yeah. The accents are interesting, and I'd like to know... Like, is there a specific reason they do them, or they're just like, yeah, he's British? Because that would also be real.
Yeah.
And then the next one, this is my favorite part of this episode. Fizz signs to a little deaf baby fan. And the ASL in this episode was definitely done with a lot of care. It's correct. All the hand shapes, the grammar of ASL, the facial expressions with the signing is just all done right. And a lot of ASL rep doesn't include things like this because ASL grammar is completely different from English grammar. And facial expressions are a really big part of the language. And a lot of times when you see it in media that's not, written by people in the deaf community, you don't see that kind of stuff. And then also, check out someone's Reddit post that says this better than me because I am not in the deaf community. At Wise Effective 0595. Did I read that right?
Yeah, there's a dash in there too.
Oh,
Wise dash effective 0595 on Reddit.
In the Helluva Boss subreddit, just in case you were wondering. They give a breakdown of like each word and piece of grammar that's signed. So yeah, I thought it was a really interesting read. So go check it out. But yeah, I think this is a good connection to the disability solidarity. There we go. Yeah, sorry, I'm tired and I am bad at speaking when I'm tired. Between Fizz and the fan. Sorry, I feel like I've been talking for a while.
No, I let you take this one because it's your shit.
Okay.
But yeah, they're like the little dynamic between Fizz and this young fan sort of like mirrors the dynamic that Fizz like wanted with Mammon, like idolizing him, except Fizz is actually cares about his fans, basically, is the difference. So it's sort of like showing what not maybe like what could have been, or like just how different the circumstances were that brought him into this this industry versus how he's inspiring other people who might want to. But then Fizz leaves at the end, which, we'll get to, but he, like, drops out of the competition and from being Mammon's little puppet monkey. Yeah. And that shows the kid to not work for people who mistreat him, even if he's different, which is sweet. And also, just because someone's your hero doesn't mean that they're worth working. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like the whole like working with a hero is a dream, but then like the hero isn't actually who you think they are because celebrities and personas, etc., etc. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
But also like, yeah, I'm seconding everything you said. But the kid also signs something like, I want to be a clown like you. So it's like this child very clearly has interest in circus art because of Fizz, which is so sweet.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's like the exact same thing that happened.
Fizz wanted to be a clown because of my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just very sweet, very good. I think like there's a lot going on in this episode, but I think that's like kind of at the heart of it, and also I think it really shows the message to the audience as well. Like I think the whole like, hey, you can quit your job and stop fucking working for these people in Hollywood that don't respect you is like something that probably is meant to be pushed out to the audience as well. So I think it just solidifies that.
And obviously there is a privilege in that, in being able to quit your job.
Oh yes, of course.
In a place you're not respected. Not everyone can realistically do that, but it is important. Like, hey, you should have a boss who is appropriate and respects you and allows you to do your job well and correctly without overworking yourself.
I think that fear is explored a lot here too. Like Fizz doesn't actually make any motion to quit or even think about it, like even consider it until he's 100% sure that he's secure with Ozzy. Because otherwise, you know, like if he was out of a job and he didn't have Ozzy, where would he go?
Yeah, no.
And so, and it is a privilege that he has Ozzy, but yeah.
And then the deaf child's horns are like damaged like Fizz's, which sort of hints at maybe like the horns, which I think we did talk about last episode, the possibility that the horns are related to hearing, and so if the damaged horns indicate hearing loss, which does that mean that Fizz has hearing loss, or like is he deaf? Do his prosthetic horns have hearing aid technology?
Which we all know my feelings on the fucking like assistive technology in this show and how I always am like, so maybe in the world that like and I go fucking crazy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is canon and there's not really a lot of evidence for it, but I really would love the fact like the prosthetics, the horn prosthetics to have some type of hearing aid technology, or like having a processor in there, or especially if like the ones he wears at night don't, and that's why they're different. Like I think they are meant to be different for style at a minimum, but I think that would be really cool. And the only difference between like the damage of the horns on the child and on Fizz is that one of Fizz's is not like fully damaged, like it's a lot longer than the other. And so that makes me think that maybe he just has partial hearing loss. Or maybe he like maybe he doesn't have hearing loss but knows ASL because he couldn't speak after the fire, which a lot of people have a theory about. That's why his voice is so what's the word? Raspy.
Grainy.
Which
Alex
we
Brightman.
all know is just Alex Brightman. But
it could make sense if they were casting him and were like, we need someone with like a raspy voice, you know?
Yeah, especially because like, you know, Alex Brightman, you know exactly what you're getting.
Although, but we hear him speak as a kid and it's the same, like before the fire.
That's true.
It's just Alex Brightman at a higher pitch. I don't really think it's any less raspy.
I think it is a little less raspy. But I don't know that it's like entirely not. Either.
Yeah, we'd have to look into it maybe.
But I do like that theory. I think it's very interesting.
Did we then see the creep who we were introduced to in the flashback at the very start of this episode? He's still fucking at it.
Yeah.
Blitz absolutely recognizes him, which is very telling, I feel, because like surely like, you know, from that flashback it seemed like there was a lot of shitty people and exploitation when they were kids because it was a performance industry. And they were children who were born into it, but like this guy specifically they remember, and that's the flashback that we saw, so like it was clearly more significant in some way.
And this goes back to Blitz being Fizz's protector. Like he remembers this guy and he immediately jumps into action.
And then the creep even, like, recognizes Blitz as Fizz's protector.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah.
You're still having this guy something for you, etc., etc.
Yeah. Fizz.
Next bullet point is Fizz hyperventilating and shaking and having a full-on panic attack, almost falls over / passes out. Just in case you're wondering.
Yeah. That's just what's going on. I need to rewatch this episode. It has been a while, but I really like Fizz's total fucking breakdown.
Yeah, I really do like this episode.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun too.
Yeah, there are parts when I rewatch it that I skip. Mm-hmm. I will be honest, I skip through most of the performance parts except for 2 Minute Notice. Yeah. Because that one fucks.
Yeah.
But all the meat, so good.
Yeah. But yeah, the performer stress, he's already got to be so stressed. He is so stressed out already, and then this guy shows up, like, no fucking shit, he's hyperventilating and shaking and almost passing out.
And he had already talked to Mammon at this point, being like, hey, I don't feel or I'm stressed out. Can I not greet the fans for money? And he's like, fuck no.
And that was, like, right before this.
Yeah.
So he's probably also extra on edge from having that conversation with Mammon.
Yeah.
But then Blitz notices that he's, like, freaking out and catches him, like, immediately. Like, he starts to fall and Blitz is, like, there. Which is, like, has something like this happened before? Was this a common occurrence when they were younger?
Yeah, I mean, if Buddy has an anxiety disorder, it probably started young.
Absolutely.
And it just makes me think, like, is that why Blitz is such a protector? Because he knows how Fizz can get? Yeah. Or is it, like, he, how young did he start having to, like, sit with Fizz and be like, hey, breathe.
Yeah.
And then also that kind of lends into the fact of him, I didn't write this, so I just thought of it.
Yeah.
Of Blitz with his mom. Mm-hmm. That caregiver role. We've always talked about, like, a possible sickness, and I think it's kind of been in the back of my head, I don't know if I've ever said it, but also, like, mental health or mental illness as well is a possibility, especially if he's caring for Fizz in that way.
Yeah. And also, like, with his dad being an abusive piece of shit.
Yeah, and an alcoholic, which, like, addiction in itself is mental illness. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Gosh, I want to know more about Mommy Buxo.
Mommy Buxo. She has a name.
What's her name?
We're so bad. We hate women.
I do know her name. Is it, I don't remember.
Do you want to look it up?
I'll look it up.
We're so sorry. To be fair, she's never been named in the show.
Right. Yeah.
But also
it's
for this
not Veronica.
Did the AI say that?
It gave me the right. It's Tilla or Tia. Tilla.
Yeah. Yes.
But it gave me the right answer, but it highlighted Veronica Mayday for some reason. I was like, that's just not true.
For a show that's being so centered around Blitz supposedly from Vivzy Pop herself, we know nothing about his fucking parents.
Yeah, no.
Or his childhood.
It makes
which, to be fair, if it's, and this might be giving it way more credit, but if it's trying to unfold in a trauma, like coping from trauma way, you would not unfold the mom dying or anything to do with the mom until later on.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that deep.
But even if it is that deep, like, you still killed the mom off to fuel his character arc.
Yeah.
It could have, and all of the women in Blitz's life fuel his character arc. Every single one.
And I understand that, like...
So a lot of the men do in some ways too, but,
And I understand that killing off the dad wouldn't have done the same thing as the dad's the abuser, but, the mom could be the abuser.
They could have switched their roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, not that their only good woman, like, well-developed woman in the show should have been an abuser, necessarily, but...
I wouldn't say well-developed, but we have Stella, is all I'm saying.
Right. Stella's just there to be stupid and mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You all should listen to, the bonus episode, Helluva Pattern, that I recorded 2 summers ago now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Where I talked about women being poorly portrayed.
Actually, Helluva Pattern is one of our least performing episodes.
Wow.
Bitches.
So that's
misogynists.
very annoying. You all hate women. But I don't remember if I spoke very eloquently in it. It was just me alone talking for like 40 minutes, but
You probably spoke more eloquently, honestly, than how we bounce off each other.
I did have a lot of notes that I tried to stick to. It's so shitty.
This show, I think, ultimately does just come down to misogyny. Like, everything ties back to it.
All of I feel like a lot of its biggest issues could be solved if they didn't hate women so much.
Yeah.
And when we say the phrase hating women, like, we say it in like a jokey way, but genuinely it's like, it's so shitty.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as blatant as, like, you know, no one at Spindlehorse is being like, we think women are stupid and shouldn't exist, but that's sort of the message that comes off when you know, they put no effort in.
Also,
it's really upsetting.
Like, it is probably very nuanced in the fact that it is most likely coming from a, like, you know, internalized misogyny, or B,
sure.
That's how women are in this genre typically, you know. But also this show, like, a huge thing of it is trying to be, like, not only edgy but also, like, subversive and pushing against boundaries. So, like, if, like, to lean into that just irks me, especially because that's like kind of the whole point of the show.
And then the whole, like, this is the male-focused show. Has-Been is the female-focused show.
And then Has-Been's worse.
Has-Been, like, it's women are better. I'll give it that. But you know what? I'm gonna fucking say it. A male-driven show and a female-driven show is fucking stupid.
Oh, no, it is.
It's so dumb. I don't give a fuck. You could still have, because the men in your women-driven show are still developed, but the women in your male-driven show are not developed, so it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
And also, even if there is internalized misogyny and stuff there, you can't take any fucking criticism from your fans who all the fucking time are telling you that your women are not portrayed and represented in a way that means anything at all.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what nuance is there to start off with. You've had plenty of time. I'm angry.
No, you're right. I feel the need to be like, it is not necessarily black and white, but it is still wrong. I want to make that clear.
Yeah,
like, it isn't good. Even with nuances, it still sucks.
I'm upset at this show as of late. But let's go back to Fizz's panic attack.
So when Fizz has his panic attack, Blitz is really gentle with him. Like, he switches it up. Like, he's really pissed at this guy. He, like, he's doing his Blitz thing where he's, like, using really big sentences that you feel like he's been working up, you know. And then
he has his gun and stuff.
And then he immediately turns. He catches him and is like, "Hey, like,
whoa, are you okay?"
Yeah, like, so gentle. His voice.
Sweet.
I feel like this is like the calmest we've fucking seen him.
Yeah.
And it is really sweet, and it's not like in the, like, it's not the overly, like, lovey way that he is with Luna either. Like, this is a new dynamic that we haven't really seen. Yeah, and it's obviously, like, in par with, like, the way that you are, you know, quote unquote supposed to handle a panic attack, like, calm, soothing voice, very direct wording, things like that. And so it's like, how does Blitz know how to handle a panic attack this well? Like, is it because of Fizz? Is it because of another thing?
Yeah.
Has Blitz ever been handled like this when he has a panic attack? Like, but still, even in this gentle state, Blitz is willing to be more harsh and honest with Fizz than Ozzy is until later on, which is telling, I think.
Yeah, totally. And then Fizz just runs to his dressing room before anyone can see that he's crying, even though he's, like, so clearly not okay.
Yeah.
He just does not want anyone to see that. Like, Blitz has already seen it, but, you know, doesn't want the fans to see it, especially, like, that young kid he was just talking to. And it's like, just hiding it.
Yeah, I'm afraid of showing negative emotions.
Repressed out the wazoo.
True.
No, go on, go ahead. Take this
So there's the scene. So Fizz goes into the dressing room and he goes, "It's okay, Fizz, you can do this," to himself, and it turns, and then there's more, and then it just turns into the, like, almost being mad at himself tone, and it's, "You're fine, you need to be fine," which still fucks me up so bad, especially, like, the dressing room. So it's like, they got performance anxiety really well done in this show. It's like, because he's looking himself in the mirror, he's looking himself in the eye, and he's like, get your shit together, essentially. And it's like, and it's so specific. Sorry, I lagged. It's so specific. It's so specific because it's not like it's like I have to get my shit together so I can go on that stage in 1 minute when I'm called to it, which is like a very unique experience, I feel, to performers.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, it's just done really well, and the way that it's voiced, the way that it's written, the way that it's framed, just fucks me up. Yeah.
He calls Ozzy Osmodeus when he snaps at him. I love that.
Osmodeus.
Get his ass. Get his deadly sin ass.
Yeah, no, like...
I love Ozzy, and, like, he's right here, you know, he's trying to help, but also, it's Fizz.
Full government him, yeah.
Shut out your boyfriend, don't let anyone see. Yeah.
I also like that Ozzy is the only person he would snap at, the fucking deadly sin.
Yeah, no, it's
just so good.
Yeah, but then does he snap at him, or, like, does he call him Osmodeus, like... you know, keeping up appearances with their little romantic secret, or is it? I think it's emotion.
I think it's emotion too. I think it also could be double wielded. Like he could be being passive aggressive about that in this moment. Like he could be pulling out all the guns because the line is, "You shouldn't be here, Osmodeus."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he aggressively puts on his blush.
Yeah. But then also, does Ozzy show up here because Blitz called him and asked him to?
Because Blitz, that's another thing. Blitz does not follow Fizz into his dressing room.
Yeah.
He goes after him, and then when Fizz goes like through the stairway, he leaves him alone, like giving him a space, which I think is really interesting.
No, I think it's really interesting, and I think it does seem to end up being the right thing because Ozzy does help him here, and then like everything works out. He fucking quits.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if Blitz. I think Blitz also could have helped him, and I think it probably came from both having the maturity to be like, I'm gonna step back here because I might not be the one he wants to talk to.
Yeah.
Like Ozzy can probably help him more than I can, but also probably a place of like, he just got Fizz back in his life. He's probably like, I've only ever fucked up Fizz's life. I'm not gonna fuck it up even more right now. And it's probably like, I don't know. But the fact that he has that, like, even if it comes from a place of like self-deprecation, or like a lack of self-worth, he still has like the responsibility to be like, okay, I'm gonna step back here and I'm going to call his boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let someone else handle this, even though I want to help him.
I think both Ozzy and Blitz deal with that dynamic in this episode really well.
Yeah.
Like they work together because they genuinely care about him, and it's so sweet.
Yeah.
But then also like with the bodyguard thing, like Ozzy knew that like he would get mad, he's not going to be allowed there, would complicate things like that. Blitz would be better for that role, even though he probably wanted to stick right by Fizz's side.
Yeah.
But he knew that wasn't his place.
Yeah.
And then in this situation, Blitz calls Ozzy because he's like, this is not my place. This is you would do better here. And the way that they're both able to have that like humility almost is good.
Yeah. Yeah. I love, the Fizz and Blitz dynamic is so fun, but then also like Fizz and Mammon, and like how Blitz is just kind of there.
Yeah.
It's really funny, but also like, no, it's sweet. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's so funny. It's like literally like, hey, Fizz's former best friend, then lifelong enemy. Then like, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, anyway, can you come here and help my boyfriend?
Yeah, no,
crazy, but I love it.
And he said, "Yep, all right." Yeah. And I don't like. It's not like Blitz does some weird ass shit for work, but this is not framed as work.
No.
At all. Like he's just like, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't like Lululand where it was like, I'll pay you money if you come be my bodyguard. This is literally just like, hey, you're, you know Fizz in a way that I don't. Can you come? He's like, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Which the dedication, which I mean, to be fair, like they did just rekindle their friendship, so Blitz would probably do anything to keep that at this point. But also, like, how much of that is also just knee jerk? Like, Fizz is in trouble. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
he even supports his new business. After
this. Like they're buddies. That makes me so happy.
Buddy, man, that's fucked. Yeah,
man.
That's really cool. So cool.
Anyway, moving on.
I was just getting so fucking angry at this show, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
I hate this fucking show. It makes me feel the weirdest emotions in such rapid succession.
And I wish it made us feel all those emotions in a productive way, but some of the times it's just because it is genuinely fucked up and not a product of the show trying to make us angry.
Yeah.
And that makes me mad.
It's so funny. So stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Fizz thinks that Mammon is the reason why he is popular, good, perfect, etc. and has Ozzy.
Yeah.
Basically thinking that anything positive in his life he owes to Mammon.
Yeah. Which is
wrong.
Wrong, but also definitely manipulated into
Yeah.
That's such clear, manipulation tactic from Mammon's end.
Yeah.
You need me.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, it obviously there is manipulation there, but honestly, if Mammon said that once, Fizz would be like, yeah, okay, and have that fear for the rest of his life just because how he is.
Yeah.
But it does kind of it is probably something that's been drilled into him. Mm-hmm. Who would you be without me, kind of thing, which I think is basically what he says at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, Fizz says the line, I feel like if I lose this, I lose you, to Ozzy.
Bro, what we have written is, bro really thinks if he underperforms, no one is going to love him, which is so sad.
Yeah.
But so funny also. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at it.
No, you're real. I forget how I write the notes.
Yeah.
Especially because we were going to record it all in one episode.
Yeah.
So these are from 4 weeks ago now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And so, that is a note I wrote.
Yeah.
And then, quote, you love me because of who I am at my best. Tears off horn prosthetic.
Yeah.
But this is who I am.
Yeah. 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 Fizz cries in front of Ozzy, and Ozzy wipes his tears. And
yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and we say this is probably happened before, the fact that Fizz feels safe enough to cry in front of him, but also I feel this is definitely the peak, the most heightened moment of this
this is the climax, this is the rising action hit, everything.
yeah. Obviously in what we've seen, but just in their entire relationship, I feel they maybe have had smaller instances of things maybe not even this exact discussion, just crying sadness, but
I think building up trust too, I would be willing to bet that they've had so many times where Fizz sat and cried and Ozzy had to sit with him and be you're okay. Mm-hmm. You can cry around me, unconditioning him essentially. Yeah. So for this, I don't know. It's it's very clear that a lot of work has been done, which is.
Oh, I'll keep talking. Can you pull up Spotify for podcasters? There's a comment that we got on last episode. I don't know if you saw it, and I don't think I told you about it. But someone I forgot. Someone had a theory about Fizz's fear of sharp objects that we were talking about, and the trauma of the scissors being near him and stuff.
Ooh, okay, I'll look into that. You vamp.
Yeah. Okay, I'll move on. We're into the duet. Song. It's a catchy little tune. I never go back and listen to it, but it is a catchy little beat. If it wasn't the last episode, it was the one before.
Okay. And it was Spotify, not YouTube?
On Spotify, yeah. Okay. And I did publish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vamp.
Yeah. Alex Brightman slays this fucking duet song. He slays fucking everything. He's Alex Brightman. Yeah, I'm just going through our notes bullet by bullet. I think you're messy, but I'm messy too. Ozzy doesn't think any less of Fizz because of his disability, and also knows that he isn't perfect himself either. It's it's cheesy and silly, and you're not perfect, but I'm not perfect either. We love each other. It's a little goofy, but it is sweet.
It's sweet. I do skip it every time.
Oh, 100%. Okay, yeah.
I don't love it. I hate it. I think it should die now. Sorry, I started talking and was immediately fuck this.
It is sweet. I do skip it every time. Yeah. No, I downloaded a file of this audio just so I could delete it from.
No, I've had an issue with this song since day one.
Yeah.
You used, I don't know if you still do, but you used to like it. When it first came out.
I have
never once liked the song.
Yeah, no, I've never been like strongly attached to it or anything.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of like watched this episode and was like, it's a little ditty. Okay, that's cute. And then moved on. And I don't think I've ever watched it critically, to be honest.
I also don't like sappy romance anything, so
no, of course.
that's gonna make this trouble.
I think I'm biased because I'm really a Blitz Fizz truther. I know we were just talking about how sweet it is that Blitz like gave him space and let Ozzy comfort him, but I kind of wanted Blitz to comfort him. But
we should check. I'll check the poll after we talk about the comment. But yeah, no, I really, even if it doesn't last, I want to see them get together. Honestly, and we know this. Yeah. We know this because of when I first talked about Ozzy and Fizz way back.
Yeah.
I do not like Ozzy and Fizz. I think there's a lot there. I think that they have a lot of good. I think they could work through a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like them right now. I think they both have flaws. I think they both, like, give stuff, but I don't like Ozzy's dynamic with Fizz. Yeah. And I might just be protective because I like that little guy.
But I feel like this episode, like, it resolves a lot, like... But,
yeah, I think that's why... Sorry.
But there's still stuff there that's not resolved yet, and it might be, but, like... I don't know. It's not fully there. I
think that's why I don't like this song, because this song is supposed to be the, like, the song and the scene where he yells at Mammon are supposed to be this, like, okay, everything's fixed. But this doesn't address the fact that he was like, you don't have to go outside ever again. Yeah. This doesn't affect this, like.
Yeah. No, there's still like there's not fully there yet.
But this doesn't address the fact that Fizz is actively working as Ozzy's assistant, and there's that subordination there.
Yeah.
This doesn't address the fact that it kind of addresses the fact that Ozzy makes sex toys about Fizz, actually.
Yeah.
Because that's a Mammon thing.
Yeah.
But you get the point. But anyway, the comment, it's not really related to this right now, but it was related to...
Yeah, I just remembered it, and I wanted to make sure we talked about it while we were...
Yeah, it was related to episode 6. It is by Velvet Simp, with little gay emojis, gay pride emojis on the sides.
Love that.
It says, kind of unrelated, but I have a theory that Fizz's trauma with sharp objects might come from Mammon throwing knives at him in one of the previous contests. The existence of that happening isn't specifically stated, but you can see it in one of the photos in 2 minutes' notice that it may have happened. It's just a theory, but I wanted to share. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. I'm going to pull up 2 minutes' notice right now and see if I can find the photo you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a good idea. This is a really good theory. Like, we get a lot of kind of, like, half-formed theories, but this is a really good one.
Yeah. We receive a lot of them, we come up with a lot of them.
Yeah.
To be clear, we're not...
No, we're not just saying... But when I say half... I mean, like, one-sentence theories. But, like, this is a paragraph. This is very nice. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think also, like, keep searching for your thing, but if we don't find it, or if, you know... I think both can be true at the same time. In the circus, season 2, episode 1, we do see knives getting thrown at a circus performer. I believe a woman. I thought at first that it was Blitz's mom, but it's definitely not. As an act in their circus. So I do wonder if maybe there's something with that as well. Because we do actually see that act happening, but it's not with Fizz, but he was a baby, so...
I think I found it. It's the very first picture that comes up when Blitz is like... Or not Blitz. Fizz is like strolling by all of the pictures, and Mammon is like making him juggle these like dangerous objects, and a lot of them are like knives, a chainsaw, throwing stars and stuff.
Yeah, and he is throwing them towards him.
At him. Yeah.
But it's not like the act of throwing knives.
No, but it's like a juggling act. Which Blitz hates juggling. Hey. We solved it, or they solved it.
Velvet Simp cracks the case.
I've never looked very closely at these before. There's also Mammon, sorry. We can talk about this when we get to that part of the episode. I forgot we're on this episode, like, right now. But I have that queued up, so remind me to mention that when we get there.
Okay. Yeah, we're almost there.
Almost. They kiss.
This is the second romantic kiss, or fully romantic, like, no other hidden agenda there, that we've seen in the show, which is crazy.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, like, the tongues, like, wrapping around each other.
Yeah, and then there's everything to do with Blitz and Stolas, which I do not count any of those as romantic kisses.
No. But the only one we've had before this is Millie and Moxie in Ozzy's, funnily enough.
Yes, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I think we technically do see a romantic kiss between Blitz and Ozzy in that.
Blitz and Ozzy?
Fizz and Ozzy. The Z's, man. The Z's are gonna kill me.
Z's.
Fizz and Ozzy. But it's the, like... It's in vein with... Not vein. It's in conjunction with the whole, like, bit they're doing with the, like, being secretive. We know now. We didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
And, like, being, like... Yeah, gross, cuteness, and yeah. So it's a little convoluted, but this is like a I love you and they kiss. So it's nice.
Yeah. There's so many Z's. I'm about to go.
That was really good. I like that one.
I thought of it like 30 seconds ago.
You've been waiting. Blitz kills the creep.
Hooray! Moving on.
That's all you need.
Fizz pulls this final act out of his fucking ass because he just made this realization. Or okay, here are the potential things that have happened. One, he just fully pulls this out of his ass, like improvs this entire performance he's about to do, or he's had this in his back pocket, like I'm not gonna quit, but if I do, this is what I would sing about, and then he's like, okay. Ozzy, can you hit these lights? Ozzy's like, what? We just talked about this. And he's like, no, I got this. This is plan B.
Yeah. Like, I'm just going to circle back a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I do want to talk about that. But going back to Blitz killing the creep, I didn't write any of this in the notes, so us moving on is very valid.
I just thought it was funny to be like, anyway.
Yeah, no, it was. But another thing about that is, so Blitz is, like, in the wall behind the mirror.
Yeah.
And he shoots the guy. And the mirror falls down. And so, but that means that one just in itself means that he's been listening to them. But then also he says, good for you, you hypocrites. And so,
yeah,
like the fact that emotional maturity, like we haven't seen that from this man yet. Like he's able to be like, wow, okay, my childhood best friend and crush for God knows how long, is in a really healthy relationship. I'm in a really shitty relationship. The dynamics are really similar, but he's actually happy. But I'm not gonna be salty about that.
Yeah. It's like, there's maybe like, a little room for like, not passive aggression, but like personal salt in there, but like, he doesn't show any of it.
Yeah, and he could have been, not that he would necessarily like have a right, but he kind of, like, he would have been not that crazy to say something more,
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to note that like that's another instance of him like stepping back and being like, good for you.
Yeah.
And he does that in Oops as well.
Sorry.
But yes, going back, he either has it in his back pocket or he pulls it right out of his ass. Like there's no.
And there's props. There's
a set.
There's lighting. There's who's doing the instrument, the backing track.
He has a trapeze and a harness ready.
There's so much. He must have been like, hey Mammon, I've thought of some upgrades to my performance. Can you get me these things? And Mammon's like, sure. And he like pulls out all the works and then he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, but no, you're right. The music is the big thing.
Yeah, because, and we've discussed whether or not the music in the show is diegetic. And the answer largely is yes. The music exists in universe. And certainly it does here in the performance. So where is it coming from? Who composed it? Who is playing it?
He made it, right?
I'm gonna look to see if there's any visible orchestra. I don't know.
There's not. I don't think so. I don't think there's anything on stage by him.
I'm so sorry. I picked up the totally wrong picture. There's also this one where Mammon is throwing.
We're so sorry, Velvet Simp. Was that what it is?
Mammon is literally blindfolded throwing knives at Fizz on a wheel.
Yeah, the third picture. Yeah.
The fourth one.
Fourth picture.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry, I saw the first one. I was like, oh, that must be it.
Yeah. So no, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think I put this in the notes because I was like, I'm reading too much into this. But we definitely need to talk about the alcohol in 2 minutes notice.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway, moving into that a little bit more. Throughout this number, Fizz removes pieces of his outfit to look less and less like Mammon and also less and less like his brand figure. But like specifically, he turns stuff into a crop top, which is very Fizz.
Yeah.
He takes off the ruffle, which is very adjacent to Mammon.
Yeah.
And he rips off the sleeves and makes it a tank top.
Pyrotechnics. Sorry.
There's pyrotechnics.
There's pyrotechnics. Where did he get the bouquet?
Yeah. Like animation magic, sure, but like.
but come on.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's any orchestra.
Yeah, no, it
is
crazy.
Is there?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, the three things he does is he rips off his sleeves, he turns his shirt into a crop top, and he removes his neck ruff. And so the sleeves, I think, kind of does show making a tank top, or no, a crop top, mirrors his outfit when he was a teen.
Yeah. So slutty.
Yeah, so slutty. And also showing that he's more comfortable in his body after he got fat shamed.
Yeah.
And then the neck ruff, I think, mirrors Mammon.
Yeah. And then there's the imagery of like Fizz connected to Mammon with like these chains around his wrists, which is again literally bad trip imagery, mirroring, paralleling, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, the mirroring and the paralleling of this show has just gotten so much more explicit.
Yeah. No, but also like you do have to know like what like it's not like so explicit that it's like you might not notice it on a first watch. You know, we do forget. We are too familiar with this show.
Yeah, we are. But it's also not like I feel like a lot of our mirroring, we're like, yeah, so if this and this and this is also true and this theory is also true, then
that might just be us being insane though.
Yeah. But this stuff is actually like clear and in the text.
Yeah.
The text.
The text says. Vibsy Pop in parentheses.
I really wish that I'd never cited Vibsy Pop in a paper, but I did write that one about Has-Been.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Fizz uses a trapeze like he did when he was a kid. So that's a full circle.
Yeah. He signs thank you to the deaf child.
And the child goes crazy.
Yeah.
So excited.
So sweet. And also, does the child's outfit also looks a lot like what Fizz was wearing when he was younger? Crazy.
No, you're probably right. I think all the imp children kind of wear the same thing. That's why I didn't notice.
No, but it's like the same like neon green.
Is it? Okay, go back.
So.
I want to see. I think you might be right. That's a good catch.
Yeah.
While he's finding that,
where's this freaking child?
Ozzy is so proud in the wings as well. Like he like his jaw drops and then he tucks back and goes like hee.
Yeah.
He literally goes :3 emoji.
:3. Also, literally, where did he get any of this?
Yeah, there's the giant fuck you.
The cannons. Where there's a jerking off light thing.
Yeah.
What?
Just,
I'm on 2 minutes notice. That's why.
You silly Billy.
Because
the child is in 2 minutes notice, but it's a very small.
I know. I'm trying to.
Just look up that scene.
I'm trying.
But yeah. After the song, the Sins get into what I said is their final boss mode and duke it out. Fizz is completely unfazed by Ozzy screaming at him, which is such a difference from earlier when wait. I wrote this wrong. Fizz is unfazed by Mammon screaming at him. I wrote Ozzy. And which is different from earlier. He's also unfazed though when Ozzy starts screaming back, which I thought initially was like he's comfortable with Ozzy, but that's not true because he just doesn't give a shit at this point about either of them or about like the fight.
Yeah,
like about Mammon.
Also, dude, look, literally, like Fizz has a bright green Mammon shirt on, and this kid has a bright green Fizz shirt.
That's cute.
That feels deliberate.
100%.
Yeah.
Also, do you think that kid like researched Fizz's like little old days and that's why he wears the green?
Yeah.
He's like, this is just like you when you were in insert big top circus name.
Apparently his name is Oliver. The kid.
Oliver.
It's really cute.
He's just a baby.
I don't know if that's true or if that's just a fanon thing. But
his name's Oliver.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then Ozzy declares his love for Fizz. And everyone starts posting.
Yeah.
And there's this guy with like 3 phones.
There's like online discourse and shipping immediately.
Yeah. Breaking the fourth wall.
They should have had us in there. They should have animated us in with our podcast mic.
Yeah. Even though no one's ever seen us.
I know. It's just us in the background like, okay, so here's why they're actually still problematic.
if we ever get okay, not to like be self-absorbed, but I feel like we have to have gotten on some Spindle Horse team's radar at some point.
Surely.
Because not because we're necessarily like super popular, but because we are the only one.
Yeah.
But I think if we ever do get like millions of views or listens or whatever, And, like, I do wonder what the reaction would be, because we are kind of shit-talking half the time.
Yeah.
And if they were to do a gag, like, it would be like, yeah, so anyway, they hate women still.
No, literally, I'd be so honored. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be a little peeved, but
Yeah.
I'd also be like, no, they got us.
Yeah.
That can't be bad.
Yeah.
They like give Millie actual depth, and then it pans over to two nerds with a podcast mic, like, see, but she's still, it's just not, like, I don't know, welcome back to Helluva Podcast, I'm Alex.
They, honestly, okay.
You have permission.
Yeah, you have permission, but also Spindle Horse team, we would love to come to LA, we'd love to voice act.
I will never say anything bad. This podcast will become such a kiss-ass podcast if that's what you need from us. I'm not saying,
I don't think that's possible.
listen, I'll slip you a little $1
$1.
under the table.
We are broke college students, keep
Yeah.
this in mind.
I would love that, though.
But it'd be so funny if we were on the podcast and they cast us and it was like making fun of us and we voice acted.
It's like Alec and Auden.
Audit. But anyway, enough of whatever that was.
Wait, one last thing. If anyone wants to draw us as imps in the Helliverse with our little podcast mic, I know you don't know what we look like. Figure it out.
No, we posted the behind the scenes video.
Oh yeah, that's a great incentive to go watch our behind the scenes video
It is.
and then draw us like this. Or I'm gonna have to do it first, and that's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
So someone else do it. Okay, moving on. We're almost done. We're so close.
We're so close.
We're so shut up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Mammon is definitely gonna be like a returning antagonist, but you know, how's this conflict gonna be resolved? Is that like do you think by the end of this season it'll have more of a resolution, or is he like a long-term big bad, quote unquote?
They kind of have done that thing where, like last season, where they like established a villain halfway through and then didn't talk about them until the next season.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be Mammon.
Yeah, and this season is gonna wrap up more with like the agents 1 and 2 and the cherubs or something.
I kind of fucking hope so. I know they're trying to world build, and it is really interesting, but I really don't give a shit.
No, like, they're, like, funny, but also, if they go any further beyond this season, I can't be more interested.
And I understand that, like, because I think even we were like, hey, like, why the fuck were they there if you're not going to do anything else with them?
Yeah.
So I understand wanting to circle back to them, but, like, unless you're gonna... And I guess, like, connection to Earth is a big theme of this season.
Yeah.
But not enough to justify that, really.
And the agents, I don't mind, honestly.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny. That's interesting.
Why are the agents and the cherubs working together? That's my question.
No, and, like, we predicted that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, way back. And we were right, and that's cool. But the cherubs they're more annoying than anything else. They're just, I don't know. I don't care for them.
They're meant to be like the foils, and I get that.
Yeah.
But the foil of a humor between an angel and a devil can only work for so long.
Exactly.
And they've surpassed it a lot by now.
And if they're not going to go any further into, like, the heaven and hell lore that we see more of and has been, then there's really no point.
Right, because, like, and why would you do that in the show? Because there's a whole other show in that where that's the whole point.
Who fucking cares about the extermination? Who cares about Charlie Morning? I care about Charlie Morningstar.
Yeah.
I care about her very deeply. But,
yeah, well,
you know.
and we all care about that in Has-Been. Mm-hmm. But it's not relevant to the show.
No.
Anyway.
So
the
who
last
tops?
bullet point,
so who tops?
So who tops?
Blitz asks.
And all I have under this bullet point is speculate.
Who tops? Who do you in Mammon and nope, not in Mammon. Holy shit.
You didn't see. It's not just me.
In Fizz and Ozzy.
Yeah. Who tops in them?
Who's? But no, I
honestly, again, would fix them.
Yeah.
But
who tops?
The interaction, I feel like there's there's something in the subtext, and then there's, and then there's also like theory.
So I'll be honest, I don't care.
I don't care either.
Neither of us like them together.
Yeah.
Very much.
I just feel like I feel like it's a thing though where like when we do talk about it, we're always like, oh, so I guess, but no. But no, like we never figure it out.
No, yeah, this is the sex dynamic analysis podcast.
Yeah.
Helluva Podcast : sex analysis.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Which
here.
honestly, you can't You can't not talk about it in the show.
No.
Like, that's a big part of it.
And if we were to really get into it, we could talk about the sort of, like, you know, I think maybe last episode or two we did talk about the whole, like, size difference, power imbalance thing, which is evident in so many of the MLM ships / dynamics in the Helloverse, which is very I can't say that word.
Fetishizing?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Fetishizy. Like fetishizy.
Yeah.
Fetishy. Fetishies.
Fetishies.
It's fetishy.
Fetishy.
Fetish. That's not a word though, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's uncomfortable, and if it's just like a one-off, that's one thing. But so many of the MLM dynamics are like that.
I think also that's why this scene is so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because it's like, so who tops? Like, coming from another man who likes men is not that strange.
No, but like in the context of the show, I like even finding an answer to that, it feels uncomfortable. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a good answer.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a good answer. And also, it feels like it is definitely hinting at, like, think about it that way.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you should think about it that way, which is gross.
It's
and also...
Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's similar with Blitz and Stolas, but we've also have multiple canon things. Like, they made it canon, then they've just repeated every single episode that, Stolas has a cloaca. So it's a little different, I think, too. But...
Sure, yeah. We gotta factor that into our sex analysis.
No, I think so.
You're right, is the thing. We sound fucking insane.
No, we do.
We're so stupid. It's like, yeah, so, like, there are some layers and there's some nuance there because he does, in fact, have a cloaca because he is an owl man.
And I'm right.
And you're right, and that's upsetting.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Princess Carolyn, what are we doing? Sorry.
And then there's also a line in Oops, when he's tying on that robe. Fizz, just to be clear, we're not talking about Stolas anymore. Because they're both... Yeah. Actually, Ozzy and Stolas are both robes people. That's just something.
They're both what?
Robe people.
Robe people.
That's just something.
It's all coming together.
But he says you're always good at squeezing things in, and there's like a really close up of his ass.
Yeah.
Don't love that.
It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's such a just like, I don't know. Look, if there's gonna be toxic yaoi in the toxic yaoi show, can it at least be Blitz and Fizz? That's all I fucking ask. Can it be the toxic yaoi that I care about? Can it not be this weird fetishizing grossness?
Yeah, toxic yaoi with less weird fetishes.
Yeah, no, like, stop getting off on gay men having sex.
Yeah.
If the gay men can have sex, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a mature show full of gay people. I would be upset if the gay people didn't have sex, but be fucking normal about it. And they can be kinky and stuff. That's fine too. Kink is great. Love kink. But why you gotta jerk off to it? You're so clearly jerking off to it. And the women are only there because if there weren't any women at all, then that would be more obviously evil. So you have to have women there, even if they're just there to be stupid. Anyway, that's the TLDR for this week.
Yeah.
Fizz and Blitz should have sex.
Yeah. You could just have a no smooch.
Yeah, no smooch. They could, yeah.
I honestly don't want them to have sex right now. I don't think that would fix them. I think it would make them both worse.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I want.
That toxic yaoi.
That toxic yaoi.
Okay, I see.
There's two kinds of toxic yaoi. There's toxic, like, they're bad for each other, and there's toxic, like, clearly the person who wrote these characters is fucking nasty.
Yeah. I think, like, it would be interesting if, and follow me on this, if Blitz and Fizz have sex, and it's really bad for both of them, and then they, like, zoom out, and they're like, hey, let's take it slow, and then they have a really healthy relationship, and it fixes both of them.
Yeah.
I think that's how it should go. But that's not how it's gonna fucking go.
No. Yeah. At this point, I don't think I care about how it should go. I think I just want to fulfill my own little pervert fantasy. Not pervert. I say that in an ironic way. I'm not jerking off to gay men having sex.
You're emotionally jerking off to gay men having sex.
Yeah.
You're here for the emotional turmoil.
Exactly. Let's wrap up.
Yeah, closing business. Instagram.
You know it. I'm not even gonna say it.
But what if this is our first episode?
At AA Discussions, and that's the last time I'm gonna spell it the fuck out for you. You can fucking find us.
You can find updates, messages. You can't find messages though. You can message us there though.
Yeah.
I was trying to do a thing.
Yeah,
You can get updates there. All of our links are in our bio and our link tree. And then you can message us there with your thoughts, your theories, your opinions, your hate for us, anything.
Yeah. If you're from Spindlehorse, reach out.
Yeah.
We're available.
We're
all
available.
The time.
We're
Neither of us.
never available, actually.
No. Neither of us are ever busy with anything ever.
No.
We're so free. We can clear our schedules. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, baby girl. I don't know why I said that.
Subscribe to our newsletter. It's free. We probably won't call you baby girl, but no promises.
I don't think I've ever called anyone baby girl in my life. That was insane.
I don't know if I even want them to stay sexy this week. I think.
Well, okay, I have to cut you off at the end of the episode, so what are you going to say?
Stay fetish.